Time entry for an overhead project. In My Stuff, to the left of the screen, click Timesheet. The timesheet should automatically display for you. In the upper left corner, we see a hamburger. Click the hamburger to maximize your view. To the far right, we have the name of the company, period ending, and notifications. Click Notifications for important information. Note, the number of notifications you have will display. To exit the software, click the gear icon and select Logout. Over to the left of the timesheet view, we have a down arrow. This is a filter. Select that to see all missing timesheets, all in progress, all submitted, and all pending approval. To the far right, when you log into your timesheet, when you click My Stuff in Timesheet, if the timesheet does not automatically display as seen here, click Add Timesheet in the upper right corner and select for myself. In the timesheet period, click down arrow, select the applicable timesheet period, and click Select. Coming over here to the left of the screen, my name is in blue. Whenever anything is blue in Deltek Vantagepoint, it's a URL, meaning you can click on it and see more information. When I click on my name, my employee card displays. The very last tab, Absence Hours. Click that to see accrued sick and vacation. To exit this view, click the X in the upper right-hand corner or select Close. Next to my name is the timesheet period. Over to the right, we see a Submit button and Other Actions. Click down arrow in Other Actions to copy a previous timesheet, select Copy from Plan, and print your timesheet. Those are optional features for you. Once we begin to enter information in the timesheet grid, the Save button will display. You'll click that after any changes are made to your timesheet. Coming over to the far left of the screen, we see the name of the company. Below that, we see the period status. Timesheet status is missing. When your timesheet is in missing status, that means you have not started your timesheet. When it's in progress, the status says it's in progress, that means you've started it. When you click Submit at the end of the work week, the timesheet status changes to Submitted. When your approver approves the timesheet, the status changes to Approved. And when accounting posts the timesheet, it changes to Post. Come over here to the far right to see two tabs, Hours tab and Units tab. In Hours is where we enter time and a comment. In Units tab is where we enter mileage. Always ensure, as a best practice, you are on the correct tab before you begin making your entries. The way you exit the software, the screen that you exit the software on, whether it be Units or Hours, is exactly what will display when you log back in. So as a best practice, always make sure you're on the correct tab. In the timesheet grid, to the far left, we have a project column, project name, client name, phase, phase name, department name, and labor code. You may need to scroll right to see the labor code. To the right of the grid, we see our work week, Sunday to Saturday, and here you may need to scroll to see more as well. And after the dates, we see regular column, overtime, and total. All of these columns are customizable. Click the grid settings icon to customize them. And here you'll select the left grid settings or the right grid settings. In this illustration, these columns are all the default view. To begin entering information, hours worked to an overhead project. In project column, click in cell, click the magnifying glass, and in project phase department lookup, identify your project, or you can type it in here. Locate the phase of the project and select your department. Click Select. Everything autofills to the left. To the right of the screen, to begin making entries, click in the applicable date cell. If you're responsible to add hours only, you can type your worked hours directly in the cell. If your time worked requires a comment, click in Cell, click the down arrow. In Regular, type the number of hours worked, and in Comment, type the applicable comment. Please note that misspelled words display a red underscore. To perform a spell check, right-click the misspelled word, left-click the correct spelling, and you return back to the comment view. If you need more real estate to type your comment, click the maximize icon for more room. To minimize this view, click the arrow pointing up or click anywhere else on your timesheet. After entries are made, click Save. To add additional time, click in the next date cell. I'm going to add a comment for this illustration, so I'll go ahead and click the down arrow. In Regular, I'll type the number of hours worked. Add your comment. Please note that if you perform the same work activity more than once throughout the work week, the system will retain your comment, but only for that work week unless you click the other actions copied from previous timesheet. To add a comment or to access that previously entered comment, you can click the down arrow, select the comment, it autofills. If you accrue overtime from a 40 worked hour week, to add overtime, click the Show Overtime, and the overtime cell displays. Here, type the number of accrued overtime hours. To minimize this view, click the arrow pointing up or click anywhere else on your timesheet. As you can see here to the right, in the regular column, I have 16 regular hours, 2 hours overtime, and 18 total. Additionally, in the lower area, my regular hours are adding per day. I have overtime, and then I have total. If you have an additional overhead project to add for the work week, such as vacation or sick, you'll simply go to the next available project cell in the grid and begin adding that information. Those eligible to enter mileage will add that in the Units tab. So click the Units tab. You may have to click it twice for it to turn blue. To the left of the screen, we have one line item that will carry over representing any project that has hours associated to it. So here you may need to scroll to get to the beginning where we have project column, client name, phase name, department name, unit table, and unit. Scroll a little bit further, and then we have project name. To the right of the grid, we have our work week, Sunday to Saturday, and then after the work week, we have total and unit of measure. Some of the columns in the grid are customizable. To customize the columns, click the grid settings icon, and here you can select or deselect some of the options. Click Apply after your selections are made. If you wish to restore the defaults, click Restore Defaults and click Apply. We are working from the default view today. To begin adding a unit, mileage, scroll over to the unit column, click in Cell, click Magnifying Glass, and select Miles, and click Select. In the applicable date, click in Cell, click down arrow, type the number of miles, and type your description. Please note, misspelled words display a red underscore. To perform a spell check, right-click the misspelled word, left-click the correct spelling, and you return back to the description view. If you need more real estate to type your description, click the maximize icon. To minimize this view, click the arrow pointing up, or simply click anywhere else on your timesheet. Next, click Save. Please note, at the end of your work week, after all entries are made, you will save those entries, and then you'll click Submit. To submit the timesheet, click Submit, in Confirm Electronic Signature, enter your password, and click OK. As you can see here, the system will let you know that the timesheet is submitting, and you'll get a notification that says timesheet successfully submitted. Additionally, in the timesheet view, it has my name with an arrow pointing forward to awaiting approval. If after submitting your timesheet, you realize you have something that needs to be revised, you do have the option of unsubmitting your timesheet. Right here, it's not displaying for me because I'm in the test database, but you'll have an unsubmit button. Click that, and your timesheet will move back to in progress because that's when you can build your timesheet or revise it. Make your revision, and then you'll want to save. That save button will be up here in this upper right-hand corner. You'll want to save and then submit it once again. So what happens when you submit your timesheet is your approver reviews it for accuracy. If all looks good, they'll approve it. If they see something that needs to be corrected, they will reject your timesheet and type what needs to be corrected. Upon that rejection of the timesheet, you'll get an email notification, and additionally, you'll get a notification up here in this upper toolbar. Please log back into your timesheet at your very first opportunity and make the correction as requested and save and submit it once again. This concludes the portion of the training for hourly entry to an overhead project and mileage entry. Now let's review Self-Service tab. Employees can retrieve expense report information directly from Self-Service. Click Self-Service, and in Expense Payments, in Payment Number column, click the applicable check date for payment details. This concludes how to enter time to a overhead project, non-billable project, as well as mileage, and how to use self-service. Thank you.